My girlfriend suddenly declared that she was a lesbian, packed her suitcase, and left. She tells all her family and friends that I harassed her. My ex Dana and I were together for 7 years. From the beginning, I knew she was bisexual, and she openly shared her past relationships with women. This was never an issue for me. Our relationship had its minor disagreements, but we always managed to resolve them without any major conflicts. After 7 years, I felt it was the right time to propose. We were deeply in love, financially stable, and already living together. I wanted to make the proposal as romantic and unique as possible. When I finally asked her to marry me, she hesitated before saying yes. This hesitation puzzled me, so I asked her about it. She simply replied that she was nervous, and I decided to let it go. We shared the news with her parents and our friends. My parents had died in a car accident when I was 20, and my younger sister passed away when she was 17 in the same accident. While our friends were genuinely excited and already offering wedding ideas, her parents seemed to be faking their happiness, which I couldn't understand. 4 months later, as we were planning our wedding, everything changed. I came home from work to find Dana with her bags packed. When I asked what was going on, she told me, "Listen, I know this is going to be hard for you, but I'm not bi. I'm lesbian. My parents have known for 2 years, which is why they weren't truly happy. Please don't make this difficult. Just let me leave without crying, begging, or screaming. Let's handle this like adults." She then drove away. I stood there in shock for about an hour, unable to believe what had just happened. We went from planning a wedding to Dana revealing a side of herself that felt heartless and cold, someone I couldn't recognize. The worst part came afterward. In the 3 months following that day, during which I canceled the wedding, no one reached out to check on me. Not her parents, not Dana, who blocked me that day, and not even our friends. It felt like no one cared about me at all. During these 3 months, I was hospitalized 3 times due to weight loss, 15 kilograms, and insomnia. My life became a routine of just working and coming home. Meanwhile, everyone was praising Dana for her courage in coming out as a lesbian and for finally realizing her true identity after years of struggle. While people celebrated her bravery, I was left in disbelief at how quickly everything changed and how utterly abandoned I felt. You know what? Fuck them all. They showed me their true colors. And fuck my ex too. Update 1. So here we go again, like in GTA San Andreas. But this time it's more painful and shocking because a lot has happened since last night and today. As some of you mentioned, one of my ex-friends somehow saw my post on TikTok, and the absolute mess started and is still ongoing. This ex-friend, I'll call him Paul, reached out to me and told me he saw the post. He recognized it was about me because I used my ex's real name, Dana. He was shocked to learn what really happened because Dana had apparently told my ex-friends that she came out to me as a lesbian, and I tried to lay hands on her and threatened her. She also told them not to contact me again. They all believed her, but when they saw my post, they started pressuring her to confirm if my post was true or not. She eventually admitted to lying. Since Paul's text, I've received a ton of messages and calls from everyone, asking how I am, if I'm okay, and apologizing for believing Dana without reaching out to me first. But then there's the real issue. Dana. She texted me, asking for forgiveness and saying she's sorry for how badly she treated me, admitting that she made everything up because she was afraid of losing friends. Unfortunately, that's not all. I also received a text from her girlfriend, Mary. Mary apologized for Dana's behavior and for what she did. Here's the kicker. Mary told me she had known Dana for a year, but Dana never mentioned me as her ex-fiancé. She always referred to me as a roommate. Mary is now considering leaving Dana. Now comes my part. I created a new group chat that included everyone, even Dana and Mary, and told them that I'm not changing my mind about forgiving them. I mentioned that I was considering suing Dana, partially true as I'm still unsure about it. I also said that if my ex-friends were decent humans, they would have texted me to ask if I was out of my mind for laying hands on Dana, or at least insulted me via text if they really cared about me. Then I added some personal things about Dana and blocked them all. However, my blocking method isn't working because they continue to harass me with texts and calls from other numbers, even getting other people to call and text me. Crazy shit is happening, and I still can't believe this mess is real. It feels like a nightmare I need to wake up from, but unfortunately, it's all true. On another note, I finally saw a therapist today, a few hours ago. I don't like to admit it, but I cried a lot because the therapist pointed out that I never fully processed my parents' and sisters' deaths. This situation with my ex has compounded everything, causing me to explode emotionally. It's going to be a very long journey, but I hope to reach a point of healing. I already had the therapist's number on my kitchen table, but never called until now. Hopefully this will help. Update 2. A month has passed since my first post, and here I am again. I know I promised to return when things got better, and I hoped for that very much. Unfortunately, my life hasn't improved at all. In fact, things are getting worse than I ever expected. I'm going to talk to you like I talk to my therapist because, in a way, you all are like my therapist. Ha ha ha. You know, I'm not an expert in therapy or these kinds of things. I hoped that things would change quickly and make me feel better, but it's more difficult and taking longer than I imagined. I'm crying every day about everything that has happened to me, about my parents and my little sister's premature deaths, what happened with Dana, and how my friends betrayed me so easily as if I were just a random guy. The worst part is about Dana. After my parents' death, I put all my attention and importance on her. She was like my promise to have a new family, to start a new life together, and to be a family again. All these years, I tried my best to make her feel loved, happy, and cared for. What maybe didn't come across in my previous posts is how much I loved her, and how much I cared about her because Dana was the only person in this world who knew me 100%. She was truly my soft spot. After my retirement from the Army, she was the one who saw the real me after those years of risking my life. I still have some traumas, but I'm working on that too. Then I met Dana, and it was love at first sight. So yes, call me naive for still believing in fairy tales, but I really thought she was the one for me. I believed she could finally give me my dream of having a family that I lost. The most challenging and difficult thing I faced this past month was finally changing my phone number and starting anew. There were countless moments when I thought about calling her, texting her, or even seeing her again. Despite all the chaos, I still somehow care for and love her. But then I remind myself of how poorly and badly she treated me, and I change my mind. Yet her presence lingers in my thoughts. I still miss the little things we did together. I miss Dana being messy and a bit goofy around me in my house. I miss her touch. Coming back from work and just seeing her used to make all my stress and negative emotions vanish in an instant. However, amidst all this turmoil, a few good things happened this month. I received the promotion I had been craving for, even though it came at the worst moment of my life. My boss also gave me 3 weeks of forced vacation because he's worried about my mental health and how I work day and night without taking any breaks. My therapist advised me to take a few weeks off to clarify my thoughts. Additionally, I'm looking for another house near my workplace because my current home isn't a positive environment, in my therapist's words, and I need a drastic change, so that's where things stand. Unfortunately, I still struggle with suicidal thoughts, but I'm working on it even though it will take time. This is everything, and I don't plan to post anything else from now on because I don't have anything more to say, fortunately, about my situation. Thank you all for your support and private messages. Final update. Hello everyone, don't worry, I'm still alive, ha ha ha. According to my therapist, I can use this little space to vent about my thoughts, share the things that happened to me, and provide updates about my life. So here I am. I'm not very good with Reddit, so I hope I'm doing things the right way. As I mentioned in the title, yesterday I had a strange meeting with Mary, and it turned out to be better than I expected. I was at a bar in my city, standing in line to order when Mary recognized me and we started talking. I offered her a cup of coffee, and we chatted a bit about our lives, how things have been going, and all that stuff. I must admit that she seems like a sweet and kind girl. She immediately asked me if I was mad at her for what happened with Dana, but I assured her that she wasn't the problem at all because she didn't know about me as Dana's ex-boyfriend. So she wasn't the issue. Mary mentioned that I seemed much better now compared to almost 2 months ago, and she was happy for me. According to Mary, the day I created the group and blocked them all, she and Dana argued a lot and eventually broke up. She told me again how extremely sorry she was for everything that happened and how this whole mess unfolded. She said that if she had known about me before, she would never have dated Dana because she has some values. We chatted for about 2 hours and got to know each other better. Afterward, we exchanged numbers, and she told me that if I ever needed to talk, vent, or just rant about something with someone, she would be there for me. I appreciated it a lot, and then I went back to my house. It was honestly a nice meeting, and I wouldn't have bet a cent on it turning out this way, but it's nice to be wrong sometimes, ha ha ha. Aside from this encounter, my life has been returning to normal over the past few days. I haven't had suicidal thoughts for 2 weeks now, and this is a great achievement for me. And my mental health is finally improving. In 3 days, I'll be heading to Japan for a 3-week vacation, and I hope to continue making progress with my mental health. We'll see how things go. Okay, next story. Am I the asshole for not wanting to attend my brother's wedding after he mocked my newborn? So, my brother, 32M, has always been rude to me, 34M. When I first met my wife, 33, 5 years ago, he started being rude to her as well and made fun of her because she's not as educated as him. His fiancée came into the picture about a year ago, and she was no different. She also made fun of my wife for not being as educated as them. This caused a big issue and led to many fights within my family because of the things they said about my wife. My parents urged us to forgive them, and we did. Last week, while we were at a friend's place, my brother was again making fun of me. I let it slide and just laughed it off because I'm used to it at this point. However, after a while, I had enough and made a comment about his appearance. He immediately became angry and started making fun of our newborn, 2 months old, in front of everyone, including his fiancée. I lost it. I swore at him and yelled at him. One of our friends told him to apologize, but of course he didn't. His fiancée didn't tell him to apologize or stop either. I informed our parents that I have no interest in talking to him or his fiancée, and that my wife, our baby, and I are not attending the wedding. Now my parents are telling us to attend, saying things like, "What will people think if we aren't there?" He still hasn't apologized and is instead claiming that I'm at fault because I made fun of him. So would I be the asshole if we didn't attend the wedding? Update 2 days later. We went over to my parents' house last night, where my brother was also present. My parents began urging me to move on and forget about the incident. They said my brother had told them he was sorry for what he said and admitted he made a mistake. I questioned how I could just forget about it, especially since if he were truly remorseful, as they claimed, he could have apologized directly to my family and me. However, he hadn't done so, and it had been over a week. My brother justified his actions by saying he made fun of my baby because I made fun of him first. I pointed out that even if I had made fun of him initially, his immediate response was to target my baby instead of me. I asked if he genuinely believed he was justified in making fun of my baby for no reason, and he literally said yes. My parents did not intervene or tell him to stop. I then posed a hypothetical. If I made fun of his baby when he has one, would that be right? Would I be justified? He didn't answer. I repeated the question 3 more times, and he still didn't respond. This silence indicated to me that he knew I wouldn't be justified if the roles were reversed. Then my brother said he would apologize to me if I apologized to him first. My parents supported this, telling me to apologize to him. I asked why I should apologize for making a comment about him after he had been mocking me for hours, which led me to snap and respond. His response was to insult my newborn instead of me. I demanded an explanation for why they thought I needed to apologize first, when I didn't believe I was in the wrong. Instead of explaining, they started calling me a bastard, useless, and other names. My mom argued that families always fight and make up. I agreed, but pointed out that while siblings might argue, they don't stoop so low as to make fun of babies or children for no reason. At this point, I was furious. I questioned what kind of grandparents they were for faulting me for standing up for my baby and not tolerating my brother's behavior. I challenged them by bringing up a past incident involving my dad's brother, who had spread false rumors about my brother a few years ago. My parents hadn't spoken to him since. I reminded them that Dad's brother had emailed an apology, admitting he was wrong, and asked why they didn't call him to apologize and make up if they thought I should do the same with my brother. My dad then started calling me an asshole and other derogatory names. I retorted that I was merely following their line of thought. Realizing the situation wouldn't be resolved, my wife and I left. My brother still hasn't apologized, and I have no intention of apologizing either. That's where things stand now. I can't believe I'm being blamed for this mess. How can I be at fault for not tolerating my brother making fun of my baby? How can I be at fault for not wanting to apologize? I don't think I owe him an apology. If he can dish it out, he should be able to take it. He shouldn't have responded by making fun of my baby, especially in front of multiple people. I never thought my family would think it's okay to make fun of a newborn. How do you like these stories? Write your opinion in the comments. Let's get 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Love you.